See? Number one thing, by the way, Miss Joy Spencer, personal assistant to the stars. Get you a good assistant. First step.
Awesome.
What'd you say?
I said awesome.
You're right.
I'm glad
That's what
I got
you
it
do.
recorded.
Yes, yes, yes. So we got it recorded. She helped me out. Good. All right. So our agenda for today is we're going to kind of do a little introduction and, tell you all, most of you all have met me before. Hi, Nicole. Nicole signing on. Most of you all have met or interacted with me before, but just to kind of tell you a little bit about myself, tell you about what our agenda is for the rest of this month, and then we'll kind of jump into the meat of what we want to talk about today. So I'm Doc Swiner, and I'm pleased to have my friends here that are with me live. Hopefully a lot more of my friends and colleagues will watch the recorded sessions, but I am a full-time family doc. That's my day job. I'm going to work here in Durham, North Carolina, or there. I'm actually in Charlotte today. I'm hanging out with some friends here at a music festival, but I'm out of Durham, North Carolina, where I work for Durham Family Medicine and co-own the practice with a partner of mine. And, day in and day out in practice, we are treating women, men, and children for all sorts of preventive and acute health issues. So I always want to give a shout out to my primary care physicians. And hey, oh, that's Jamie. Hi, Jamie. Let me find out. Nicole has sent her sister, or she might not even know we're here. She sent her assistant to take notes. But anyway, that's my day job. But my real job, my 365-day job, is as wife and mom. Married with 2 kids, ages 4 and 6. And so being a working mother, trying to balance all the things that I would love to do and that I need to do is definitely a constant struggle. So about 3 years ago, I decided to start this whole Superwoman complex ministry, I call it, to talk to and about women like me. Whether or not you are married, whether or not you have children, as women in particular, we all seem to have this burden of finding it hard to take care of ourselves because so many people rely on us, right? If it's not your parents, if your siblings, your best friends, if you're a big auntie to a lot of little cousins that look up to you and you pull on you for a lot of inspiration and physical help or financial help, at the end of the day, it's hard to not feel guilty about listening to your own bodies, your own selves, and taking care of yourself. So I think that mental and emotional burden has a lot to do with our physical health. And as a family doctor, I end up seeing and treating these folks, these women, for high blood pressure, depression, diabetes, cancers, and chronic illnesses that have to do the majority of the time with their mental health. So I am here to now give you permission to take this time and adopt some of these practices in your daily life so that you can have better balance and hopefully be happier, healthier, and stay out of the doctor's offices. Hey, Oxendine, how are you? You're probably muted. Can you hear me okay? She looks confused. Okay. Hopefully she can hear me. So that's why we're here. That's why I am here. So for this month, every Saturday this month, you guys have committed yourselves to sitting down for an hour or whatever time you have available to get some new tips or to brush up on things that you already know about in terms of self-care. So that's what we're going to do every month. Today starts with me. So I'm going to take the whole hour with you guys today. And hopefully this will be kind of a live discussion where you guys can chime in and ask questions and give tips yourself as you need. Next Saturday, let me throw up my calendar here so we can see. Next Saturday is this lovely lady here, Miss Kalila Wright, who is the owner and operator of Mess in a Bottle. She is a phenomenal single mom, renegade entrepreneur, doing things on her own, left her day job to start her passion, and is killing it in the game. She's a social media beast. I don't know if you all follow her on social media, but please take a look and follow her stuff because she is a wonderful, raw at times, but I love it. You know, she keeps it very real about her single motherhood, about her struggles with the father of her child and trying to make sure that she's taking care of her child and her business. She just opened up her own business. I mean, it's major. So we're going to get some good tips from her. She's published a book before, but is working on publishing another one about her journey and her life. So I'm very excited to hear about her. The Saturday after that, we're going to see this young lady here. There you go, Dr. Bintu. Doc is a lady that I've currently been obsessed with, not only because she is beautiful, I mean, look at this, and representing her African roots, but she is by day an MD like me. So she's a practicing physician. I believe she's a hospitalist, which means she takes care of patients that are sick in the hospital. So that's her day job. Her side gig or her passion is as a hip hop DJ. Believe it or not. And she is actually very, very like hot. Like she was here or in Durham for the Art of Cool Festival this year in April. And had her own little set and rocked on the ones and twos and all that. So she is a wonderful inspiration. She also has her own nonprofit organization called Heartbeats and Hip Hop, where she talks about minority health, cardiovascular health, and how that relates to hip hop music. So I really, really, it'll be the first time that we talk actually face to face and one-on-one. So I'm really excited about that. And then last but not least, for the last Saturday is Jessica Avahart, who is a beast in her own right. She's here in the Raleigh-Durham area, lives in Durham, and is also a mom. But her claim to fame with two big organizations here locally are with Leadership Triangle, where she serves as the essentially the leader of the group that helps CEOs and business people and entrepreneurs and people in the workforce in the area become more comfortable in their leadership role. She has classes and courses, almost like a Six Sigma kind of a thing, where you meet other entrepreneurs in your area and you go through these courses together to build on leadership. Her second claim to fame is as one of the founders of Black Wall Street Homecoming. And for those that live in Durham, hopefully you are very familiar with that. It is a wonderful organization, nonprofit here in Durham that serves to educate and kind of encourage the ongoing renaissance that's happening right now with Black entrepreneurs in Durham. Because if you didn't know, Durham, even before Atlanta and Charlotte, was considered the Black Wall Street in the early 1900s for freed slaves that were starting their own companies, and that continues today. So she and her partners are bringing that back, and they have a homecoming celebration starting next week that I am honored to be participating in and be speaking on a panel on. So she is doing it. So I want to be like her when I grow up, and I want to see how she does it. So she's going to tell us how she does it. So that's our agenda for the rest of this month. But for today, I want to talk to you guys about 5 tips of being Superwoman without becoming Superwoman. Okay. And I'll pause just for a moment to see if anyone has any questions or comments. Did you want to say anything? Maybe we should have you guys introduce yourselves. Yes? No? What do you think, Janie? You're the only face I can see. You're okay with that? Introduce yourself. Unmute yourself and say hello.
Hi, everyone. I'm Janie Outlaw. I'm a graduating student from NC State for grad school. In undergrad, I went to North Carolina Central University. So go Eagles.
Janie. Why you're here? What's your primary goal with being part of the series? What do you want to learn?
I want to learn balance with, growing up, because I am probably pretty young in the group. So just growing up and trying to take on different avenues and, trying to figure out everything that I want to do in life. I want my foundation to be about balance.
Very good. Very good. Miss Joy, you still there?
Yes, I am.
Hey.
Hi. My name is Joyce Spencer.
Yes.
Everyone, and I am here. I need this information as well. I'm a budding entrepreneur, and so I'm starting to face all of the challenges that all these wonderful ladies have with balancing work, family, life. And yes, I want to get that lifeline before I feel like I'm drowning.
Excellent. 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 Let's see. Nicole or Jamie, the Oxendines, are y'all there? I think they're still busy. They at least have their screen up over here. Hopefully they'll join us. Dr. Harris?
Hello, ladies. Good afternoon. My name is Angela Harris, and I am really wanting balance in my life. There are a couple of little projects and things that I want to try to complete.
They ain't little. Don't say little. They ain't little.
Well, major. In 2017 and 2018. So, one, I want to be able to balance my life, but more importantly, I want to be a supporter of women, because I think there are a lot of times we're seeking and wanting support for ourselves, but we're not willing to give that energy back out. And so I know as women, we can be going against each other and be catty, and I'm really wanting to at least change that. And so rather than always seeking and asking for support, I want to be a giver of support. So I also want to network with other women who are about handling their business.
Excellent. Yes, and you are definitely about that. So that's a wonderful, wonderful start. All right. So just a piece of some housekeeping business. To make sure that everybody gets what they came for, I want to make sure that you guys send your mailing addresses to Miss Joy. So even though Joy is here to get this info, she is still working. Joy Spencer, right, LOL. She has been tremendously helpful in a lot of different areas of my life and work recently, but she is going to help to coordinate to get your stuff to you. So please make sure, Joy, if you can type in your email address, please, for everyone. Y'all, please make sure you send your mailing addresses to Miss Joy. Oh, good. Perfect. See, she's already on it. Boom. Joy, she's the beast. She's a beast. Good. So just make sure that she has your mailing and your email addresses, because you get a free swag bag that we'll send you. And we're going to email copies of 2 free ebooks that you get. The first will be the one that I'm going to talk about today. And the second one I'm kind of back and forth on. The second one I'm thinking, or originally I thought was going to be in the next couple of weeks, I'm coming out with one about being a mogul, what it is to be a mogul, and some social media and business tips on being a mogul and an entrepreneur. I think that's what I'm going to do. I have some other options I was thinking about, but I think I'm going to do that one. Coming up in November, it's actually entrepreneurial month. And so I want to focus a lot on business, tips and business aspects and prospects for particularly women. So, I might change my mind on the second one, but I think the first one is definitely what we're going to talk about today. Okay. All right. Let me make sure I don't have any other housekeeping notes so we can jump into this meat. Anybody have any comments or questions? Nope. Okay. All right. So 5 tips. Let's get into it. So this is an ebook I released. Let's see. Can y'all see that? Let me see if I can see Janie's face. Can you see that? Nope. Okay. Let me share the screen. Hold on. Share screen. There we go. All right. 5 tips to being a superwoman without becoming superwoman. So all of us here are doing phenomenal things. We introduced ourselves and talked about how, Miss Angela, were you trying to say something?
No.
Okay. I saw something pop up. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. So we're all here already doing phenomenal things, or getting ready to do more phenomenal things, and, killing it, beasting it, being a superwoman, but because of this whole superwoman complex and the Black superwoman syndrome, what we want to make sure of is that we are not figuratively and literally killing ourselves in the process, right? So a lot of the books, or the 2 books that I've written on the superwoman complex, talk about what that is, how to fix it, and tips that I tried to use in my daily life to not go crazy. But what I did was I came up with a couple of new ones within, the last year that I threw into this ebook that I want to kind of point out a little bit, and hopefully it'll spark some conversation and discussion. So you will be getting a copy of this, so you don't have to read everything from word to word. But the first tip is get out of your own way. Can I get an amen from somebody?
Amen.
There you go.
Like,
Get out of
Amen.
your own way. We frequently self-sabotage without even realizing it, right? We listen to negative comments. We have low self-confidence. We don't think we can do it, or we don't think we can do it as well as the next person. Stop doing that. Stop doing it. And just do it. Just do it. We've had ideas of wanting to write this book for years, or wanting to go back to school, or wanting to start this business. And our own self-talk sometimes is the thing that gets in our own way. You have to be more positive. You have to be more positive. You have to understand that, if you have these God-given gifts, that you have to use them, and just go ahead and do it. Speak more positively. Instead of saying, I can't, say, I will. Instead of saying, but what if, say, I'm going to do it. We have to be our own cheerleader a lot of the times, because not everyone will be supportive, right? Let me get an amen on that. See, Janie's saying yes. So we have to get out of our own way and be our sometimes our only and our number one cheerleader. There are a lot of things that you can do. You may just not know how to do it, or you don't know the first step. So that's why you reach out to women like us in this group, folks that know and have achieved things that you want to achieve, and we connect with them so that we can start making some steps. Janie and I are going to be working on some pre-medical stuff, right? We're getting this girl into medical school no matter what. We're working on some things. But she was smart enough to step out and say, hey, I would love help. I would love advice. I want a mentor. Let me connect with some people, and spoke up. So I'm really proud of her for doing that. And that's what we have to do. We have to be our own cheerleader. So stop getting in your own way. Just do it. Do it, do it, do it. Any questions or comments about that? I'm going to keep it moving if I don't see. And also, if you want to, on this right-hand side of the screen, you can also put a chat, a little text. If for some reason you're trying to say something and I don't see your face. So you can use that.
So this is Joy. I have a slight comment about that.
Yes, please.
I remember I was taking this one workshop, and it pointed out something that women in particular do all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Not to pick on Dr. Angela Harris, but we have a tendency to make ourselves small and make what we're doing small.
Amen. I agree.
She said amen. She said amen.
But we always do, we're in a meeting, we say, well, I think we might want to try this, that, or the third, knowing good and well the best strategy for us to take would be what we're suggesting at the time. And so just being mindful of our language and speaking assertively.
That's right.
And just putting that confidence in ourselves so that it can portray to our audience when we're speaking. Absolutely.
Can I respond?
Yes,
Joy, thank you. And Doc, thank you, because I put it out there, like I'm working on small things, and I think it's kind of, it's almost like you don't want to be your biggest cheerleader. And Doc, you was able to say, like, no, they're big things. And it's like, what was wrong with me saying, like, I'm working on some grand things. We're all doing great things, but it's almost kind of that we stand in our own way, and it's like we don't want to make it so big, or we don't want to expose ourselves, or maybe it's the fear of failure. So for me to say it's small, so I appreciate you guys mentioning that, because we need to be aware of that.
That's right. Yes, Miss Janie.
And so my question is, what is the line between being modest and humble and being conceited?
Good question. Oh my, yeah.
You want to answer that, Miss Angela?
No, I need an answer. That's I was saying good question, meaning I would love to hear an answer to that.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think people can tell whether or not you're being genuine and humble. There is a difference between being confident and being boastful, I think. I don't think saying I am working on this huge goal and I intend to accomplish it is bragging. I also don't think it would throw people off, especially if you'd be like, I'm doing, as long as all your social media posts will say, I'm getting money, I'm doing these big things, whoop, whoop, shout out to me. You don't have to do that every day. But I think being confident and saying, this is my goal for 2018. and this is what I'm doing to achieve it. I think people respect that and don't see that as being overly boastful. One thing that I do a lot is talking myself down in email, or I'm trying to work on not doing as much as talking myself down in emails. Have y'all heard of this app? Or I think there's either something on Gmail or an app where it helps you to stop saying please and asking for permission in your emails. Have you seen that? There's this thing, and I'll find the name of it, but there's this thing that once you've typed in your email, the words, it goes back through your emails and cancels out all the please and could we and maybe we should and if you don't mind and forgive me for saying. It takes out that stuff because it makes us seem small and it makes us look like we're constantly asking for permission when you should just state those things. This is what I believe. This is what we're going to achieve. I intend to do this. And so I have to do better with that in my emails because I try to be polite and say, well, please, if you could, do you mind? Those kind of things we have to stop, or we at least be cognizant. You don't necessarily have to not say that because you want to say please and thank you and be polite, but it's the dumbing down yourself that we have to stop doing as women, and particularly as minority women. Right?
And not to sound kooky, but I like what you said at the beginning is if you're genuine, I don't have the answers, but vibes kind of don't lie.
Right.
So people can, and some people need to hear, some people are inspired by your accomplishments. I know I'm very inspired by looking at people that I feel are similar to me and seeing what they've accomplished. And it makes me feel, it's like the Obama effect, like, oh, I can do that too.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right. So talk your own self up, self-talk. All right, let's see here. The next thing is page 2. There's no time like the present. No time like the present. Let's come back to your face. I want to see your face for this. How many of us have said, oh, I'm going to do that thing, but I'm going to wait until next year? I'm raising my hand. And,
yes.
I want to do that thing, but I got to wait till I get out of school.
Yes.
And I want to do that, but I don't have enough money right now. Right?
Yes.
There is no good time. There's never going to be a perfect time. Ever, 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 ever. So just do it. Just start. You're never going to have enough money in the bank. You're never going to, get married by this perfect age. You're never going to finish school on that time, that perfect date that you want to finish it by. You're never going to lose that weight. I'm preaching to myself. You're never going to lose that weight by this certain age, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, after you had the baby. So just start. Just do it. Just step 1, do it. You have to start somewhere, and you can't sabotage yourself by constantly putting your goals off because then you will never, ever, ever do it. Okay? There's always going to be an obstacle. There's always going to be a naysayer. There's always going to be a surprise in life. So why not start with just something? Do something. Don't wait. And even, at the risk of sounding morbid and sad, life is short. Right? And as you get older, it feels shorter and shorter. And you wake up one day and it's 10 years later and you haven't done what you really wanted to do. And you haven't achieved those goals that you're really passionate about. So start today. I encourage you. All right? Speaking of which,
yep.
Well, no, I want to save this I'm going to save that question for another time. What were we going to say?
No, I was agreeing.
Yes. Start today. Start. All right. Next in line is page 3. No is a complete sentence. I'm going to just leave that right there for a minute. Let me look at your face. No is a complete sentence. That should be the end of that chapter. I have a problem saying no. I'm going to go ahead and admit I have a problem. Mostly with my children. Mostly with Bryce and Blake because they're so darn adorable and I want them to have everything in life, but clearly we cannot teach lessons that way. Okay, they cannot have everything and I cannot say yes to everything. Mostly because it'll burn me out, financially and energy wise. I can't run and play all day and do nails and hair all day and not have time to, you know, get my rest and go to bed on time. And, you know, so, and I definitely don't have all the money in the account to do, you know, we plan on doing dance this time. So Oxendine, that's where she is in her dance studio. So we committed that was our thing that we were going to do. But I'm not saying yes to Girl Scouts, and I'm not saying yes to track, and I'm not saying yes to soccer. And, you know, it's too much. It's too much. So we're going to do this thing. Everything else for now, no. Or you just say no, and there's no explanation needed. Hi, Nicole. She's so busy. I see little glimpses of her head. So yes, you agree? No, it's a complete sentence. Angela's voice usually comes at the very end.
No, I'm here.
Oh, yes. So, does anyone else have a problem saying no like me, or is it just me? Yeah. Joy, in what area of life do you have the most difficulty saying no?
This is Joy. For me, it's every area. I am very much a giver. I very much love to help people. I got that from my mom. She's very much a giver. She was a teacher and in the nonprofit sector her whole entire life. We always had, you know, a house full of kids or a house full of people in need.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just grew up in a very, yes, I can do it household.
Mm-hmm.
And as I get older and my support systems are kind of weaning because I'm adulting more, saying yes to everything and everybody gets overwhelming. And so I'm learning, when I say no, it's because like I absolutely have to say no, and I can't physically make it or can't in no under any circumstance get there. And normal, I mean, that shouldn't be the threshold for saying
Right.
no. It shouldn't be. So I am very much working.
Yeah, you do. Janie, are you a good no naysayer?
Yeah, I have a problem saying no when people ask me to do things. Like I always want to be. I try to be everywhere at once. Try to make everybody happy.
Yeah, that's the definition of Superwoman, my friend. You can't. Go ahead, Angela.
This is Angela. I was going to say, in regards to kind of piggybacking off the other two speakers, I think sometimes it's hard to say no because, again, we want to, especially when you're trying to, I guess, build your brand or, you know, build your business. A lot of times you have to say yes to a lot of different things before even when they maybe income that you can bring in. And sometimes people take advantage of that. And so kind of learning how to balance that. I think also for me, being single, being unmarried, and not having children, a lot of times people just expect, well, you don't have those things, so what else could you possibly be doing with your life?
Right.
Like, why aren't you saying yes? And, you know, just because I'm single and have no children or have a husband doesn't mean that I'm not involved in other things. And just having that, giving myself permission to say no, because I think sometimes whether it's your employer or colleagues or different people, it's like, well, you know, we know that they're not doing anything because they don't have to go to after school practice or they don't have soccer. And it's just like, no, but there are other things that are going on in my life. But I think the saying no piece in regards to when you're building your business or brand can get a little tricky because in the beginning you might have to put yourself out there and say yes to everything before you start saying like, until, you know, let's talk about how we can, you know, make a payment of some sort. So just things I was thinking about.
Correct. And there will be seasons. Yes, there will be seasons. So when you launch that book, Dr. Harris, which we are working on.
Thank you.
That's right. In the beginning, yeah, you might have to go to a lot of the non-paying gigs just to get your name out there and to get a lot of social media traction and all that. Yeah. But at some point, you definitely have to say, okay, so I'm going to do this for 6 months. And then at 6 months, once I get a lot of these things under my belt, then I know I need to start putting a price tag or a value on what I'm doing. And while doing that, so, you know, if you're saying yes in one realm of life, then you may in another realm have to start saying no. They trying to get it together down there at Empower. Look at that. Hi. Hi, Hero. We have some other ladies coming on. Welcome, y'all. Can you hear us? You might be on mute. Hi, Hero. Hi, Elliot. Can you hear everybody? Can you hear me okay? If not, we have it on record so you can watch it back. Okay. While they get their technology straight. So while having to focus a lot in one realm, so let's say you've launched that book or you're doing this new project, Elliot is mocking me. You're doing this new project, you may on the personal side have to say no more. Or you may have on the social side, no, I can't go out with y'all tonight, or no, I can't do this, or mommy, no, I can't come to, whatever church function you want me to come to every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday night because I'm working on this goal. So yes, Miss Angela, you're absolutely right. There are seasons where you may have to ramp up your yes, but hopefully you can balance that with saying no more in another realm. See my hand gestures, that means balance. All right. Hello, Miss Hero. So for those who have just joined us, hello, welcome. We're recording this so you can go back and watch and all that, but we're going over some 5 tips on being a superwoman without being a superwoman or becoming a superwoman. So we're sharing that, and you will get a copy of this as well. So let's go back to our screen. All right, so no is a complete sentence. The other thing, and just to kind of finish up the no portion, is I'm working on saying no more, which I think I've gotten better with, especially in business. Like I've cut off. I don't know if you followed me a lot during the summer. I tried to keep business really light this summer, and we did a lot of family trips and trips with my husband. So I tried to cut off the business portion and said no to a lot of stuff that I might have been offered but decided not to do. Another no that I'm putting into practice now is I'm turning my phone off earlier in the evening. That's hard. What time do y'all turn your phone off in the evening when you get home?
This is Angela. I'm wondering even how you do that, because I've struggled with that. I've struggled with that. Like, sometimes I'm on call and then just being one of the deans, like any student emergency can happen and they expect you to check your email throughout,
Okay.
So that's hard.
Yeah, for work, you might not be able to do that a lot then, but I definitely, social media is both wonderful and burdensome. I try to be really active throughout the day on social media, but with a lot of things that have happened, in the world and the environment, politically, a lot of it it brings me down. I'm real sensitive to a lot of that negative stuff. And with just being constantly stimulated by posts and thinking about the next thing and what am I going to post about and should I comment, a lot of that takes away from family time and or rest time. So to give myself some downtime, I just turn, when I get home, I try to just turn my phone off. I'll finish up whatever I'm working on and I turn the phone off. You may not be able to do that with your business phone though, unfortunately for work. But I saw Janie saying, I don't turn my phone off at all. Is that what you were saying?
I don't turn it off, but I do turn it on mute around 10 o'clock because I don't like to, a call to wake me up. So yes.
Do you rest pretty well? Do you get enough good rest? Do you feel like?
I try to get my 8 hours.
Good. Because sometimes the other thing I had to stop doing was, like, if I got up to use the restroom or I got up in the middle of the night to do something, is not look at the phone before I went back to bed. I was like, oh, okay, let me check to make sure nobody texted me. No, I'll have to wait. They have my home phone if it's an emergency, That's hard. So saying no in those realms, very important. Saying no to yourself. No more social media after a certain time, at night. So just to give your brain some rest, because, there's a lot of foolishness that we fill our brains with that we need to rest with. So say no. And don't explain. Say no. All right. Tip number 4, frenemies. Friends. How many of us have them? Who knows where that lyric is from? I'm testing your hip hop knowledge. Janie, do you know where that's from?
Is it
Wait, what'd you say, Angela?
Houdini, friends.
Yeah, she got it. Okay, Janie, you knew that. I'm impressed. Okay. I'm impressed. All right. Biz. Who said Biz? Joyce. Houdini, my friend. Houdini. I'm gonna teach y'all about this hip hop, this knowledge. All right. Frenemies, or what do they call, your best friends and all of this, not everybody is your friend. And that's sad. That's sad to learn as we grow up and we adult. Not everybody is for you, and it's a shame. There is jealousy, envy, toxic relationships that can destroy your mental health and psyche. Get rid of them. Get rid of them. I'll tell you my own personal story. In college, I had, a couple of friends, and one best friend in particular that was what I thought my ride or die. It's like, we're going to be together till we're old and gray, and, we're going to raise kids together and all that stuff. As we aged and, graduated from college, and I met my now husband and got pregnant and all that stuff, and she was kind of doing a different thing, the distance started to grow. And there seemed to a lot of times be some jealousy and envy in there where literally she was upset if I wanted to like stay home and like spend time with my then fiance or talk about my pregnancy. And, you could tell that there was some hatred there. But because I loved her, we had this long-term relationship. She was my ride or die. I let things slide, and I let it slide and let it slide. And I was like, oh, well, I just want to help her. Maybe she's not succeeding where she wants to succeed. I want to be there for her because she's my girl. Long story short, we ended up, parting ways. And I had to cut her off at some point because it just was not a healthy relationship. And healthy relationships span from your friends to your family to your coworkers. I mean, a relationship is a relationship, whether it's intimate or romantic or not. And not everyone needs to be in your inner circle. So really, really, truly be honest with yourself and say, does this person have my best intent and heart in mind? Do they want good things for me like I want for them? Is this a 50-50? Or like my husband says, a 100-100 relationship. If I should be giving 100% to you and you should be giving 100% back. And if it's not, or if on social media they're being shady or not supporting your passions, then it's time to cut them off. And that's hard, but it's the hard truth. Yes? Comments, questions? Anyone want to share a story? No, nobody wants to share. You sure? Okay, all right. But yeah, I mean, and unfortunately, some of those toxic relationships span. I had family members that I love you from afar, but yikes. They, not everyone is for you, and so some of that happens to be. I have a lot of folks that will come into the office when they see me for treatment, talking about how stressful a certain relationship is with their mother, who's just pulling on them constantly, calling them at all times of night for them to come and do things for the mom, taking away from the person's personal time and their mental health and time for them to rest and do other things that help them to grow. Sometimes mom has to, you have to create those boundaries. You have to push mom a little bit further out, set some boundaries, and say, okay, I'm available on these days. I can come to help you, but on these other days, these are all mine. And I have to, do those things for me. And if those folks are true loved ones, they'll understand it. They'll understand it. So time out.
This is Angela.
Yes.
I don't have a story to share, but I guess I'm kind of really thinking about that in regards to the story you just shared. And I think a lot of times what happens is that we're looking at the deficits within. So when we want to support our friends, and maybe your friend wanted to support you, but maybe within she's looking at the things that she doesn't have. So it's like, how can I be happy when what my friend has, husband, family, success, and those are the things that I'm lacking or I'm not quite sure how to get. And I think that's why so many women, especially, we find ourselves in these places where we want to be supportive, but we are also envious. Or those women who just like hate and everything positive that's going on in your life, they're nitpicking about it. And I think that's really the person and themselves struggling with their lack of or their deficits, or how did this system make it, but I'm not making it. And that's why I think it's so important as women, we have to really put ourselves in a mindset that we have to support one another and not be crabs in a barrel.
There you go. Yes, ma'am. Anyone else? Good. And I think, Dr. Harris, that's another good point to bring up is it's often not you. You know, it truly, you know, that saying, it's not you, it's me. No, it's the opposite. It's usually not you, it's them. And it's their issue or issues that prevent you all from building a healthy relationship, and for them exhibiting toxic behavior. And so get out of it. It's abuse. Don't let people abuse you. And oh, she's my girl. We've been down for 20 years, like 4 flats. You know, she's my girl. I'm a ride for her, and I know she's having a tough time, so I'm going to be there. And you know, there may be times where you are, you know, if they've lost a loved one or lost a job or going through depression, etc. You know, you do want to be there for your friend, but it also has to be reciprocal and reciprocated. And if it's not, there's a problem. All right. Let's see. Next and last is, let's see, I think this page is first. Sorry. There it is. You hate your job. The Mondays. If every day of the week feels like a Monday at work, do something else, please. Do something else. I don't know how many times I have folks come into the office, high blood pressure, stress, can't sleep, gaining weight because they're eating horribly, or losing weight because they're not eating. And it's because of a horrible job. It's a horrible job. And it's like a relationship. We actually have a choice, right? You actually kind of have a choice. I know at times you may feel stuck because you're like, well, I went to school to do this thing, and this is, you know, the first real job I've ever had, or I make great money at this place, so I have to stay. But you don't. You don't. And I know it's easier said than done, but you really have options when it comes to where you're spending the majority of your day, because a lot of the times we're spending more time at work during the day's hours, than we are at home with our loved ones, right? Or at home resting. So let me bring this back up again. So you may not necessarily be able to change your whole job. I mean, eventually, if you really truly hate what you're doing, hopefully eventually you can, but maybe you can shift the type of work you're doing in a company or the role that you're playing, you know. So maybe you got promoted to director of such and such, which is wonderful. Looks great on your resume, pays you good money, but maybe you hate the people you're managing. So why not maybe step down or move to a different department or change your career altogether. There's a big thing called burnout, particularly in the physician world. Physician burnout is a thing, and people are suffering from it because, you know, we go to school for umpteen years, make sacrifices, pay money to get the education. And then once we get into the field, unfortunately, there are things that a lot of us hate about the work that we're doing, or hate about the bureaucracy of things, or hate about the patient population we're serving or the bosses we work for. And people suffer from burnout and end up having, you know, mental health issues. Unfortunately, there is a high number of suicides that occur both in medical school and once you get out in the medical field, because people feel stuck. And I'm here to tell you, you don't have to be stuck. You don't have to be stuck. If you ended up going to graduate school to get this degree to do this thing that you thought you were passionate about, but for some reason you've always had this little inkling in your mind that, you know what, all I want to do is be home and bake, then find a way to do it. Find a way to do it. Talk to people who have left one career and transitioned and started another. Talk to those about how they got their business loans, or how they funded themselves through GoFundMe or did a Kickstarter to start a company, to do something that they always wanted to do and they always love to do. Again, life is too short. Live to your fullest. Don't live the majority of your life, your adult years, working a job that you absolutely hate. Questions or comments? Stories? No. Hero, as a superwoman, as a self-proclaimed superwoman, do you want to share your story with the group? Do you want to say hi?
Hi, I was trying to figure out how to use this thing. Sorry.
Welcome.
Forever. Well, hi everybody. Not much of a story, to be honest with you.
Who are you? Why are you with us today? Who are you?
Well, I am, first of all, I am a retirement consultant, and I do hate my job, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like you said, sometimes we get in that state of mind that we're stuck. But it well, like my boyfriend always says, it all also depends on like the people that you're surrounded to realize, how stuck you are. Once you realize that there are more ways of doing things, you kind of open up and say, okay, well, I don't have to be doing this. And like you're saying it at the same time is like clicking with me, because it is true. It is true. And I just wanted to say, yes, you're hitting the nail on the head right there.
What do you hate about your job most?
It's because like I like to be more active with what I do. I'm on the phones all day. I feel like my job takes away a lot of my family time. Not the weekends, but like my day is gone. I'm on the phone constantly. I'm sitting down. I'm not used to it. So, and I've been doing this for 2 years. And sometimes like trying to help people, they don't see it as help. They see it more, you're threatening some of them, and, and I deal with money and finances. So people and money, that's not a good combination. So, it's just hard. And it's just like you have your faith in humanity and all that. But when you're dealing with that kind of stuff, you see how much people's attached to material things, and they treat people not as good as they're supposed to, because they're more interested in their money than thinking that there's another person on the other side of the line. So it's just a lot of stuff together that just makes me not want to be where I am right now. But I'm working towards doing what I want to do. So
what do you want to do?
I want to do fitness, nutrition, because that's what I've always wanted to do.
Yes.
Know how it is.
Yeah, she runs marathons like as a hobby, y'all. You want to tell them the other surprising part of that? You run and what?
Well, I'm pregnant.
She's pregnant.
Months pregnant. So yeah, I'm still lifting my weights and everything. And when I'm out of the pregnancy, I just want to pursue my dream, doing my nutrition stuff and doing my fitness.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, we are here to support you. We love it. Joy says, yay for fitness. She typed in yay for fitness. Joy, where are you?
Hi.
Joy, let me see your face. Hi, that's Joy. Joy meet Hero. Tell her what you do.
I am working on a passion project actually right now, joining a fitness community and giving people tips and making them know that they can reach their health goals, and holding them accountable for taking appropriate steps to reach their health goal, which stems from my own personal health journey. And I'm actually working to establish that into a nonprofit organization so that we can have more tools and resources to educate people about nutrition, wellness, and fitness. And I am very interested in physical health, holistic health, and mental health as well. So yay for all of that. Yay.
Look at the connection we just made. Yay. So you all definitely need to coordinate with one another. And I'm happy to bring interested parties together like that. I love that. And I love when women in particular step out on faith and do those things that they love to do. I love that you have the passion project already in mind. And we're going to talk a lot about that, I think, with Kalila next Saturday. She jumped all the way out there with as a single mom with a son, leaving a good job, good paying job, jumped out there and did what she's did what she wanted to do, and is doing what she wants to do. And so we're going to talk about passion projects next time and how to just get over that fear and jump out there. So that's good. That's good. All right. Let me see if I wanted to share anything else about that last page. So don't be afraid. Like I said, if you can't jump all the way out of what you're doing, then start small. So here I talked about, one day I may leave clinical medicine. I'm not sure. It's something that I still have a love for. I just don't necessarily love the way we have to do it right now. So, like I said, if you know me and been following me, I've been trying to find ways to practice medicine outside of the clinic walls. So doing telemedicine, which is like FaceTiming with your doc, and that I can do from home or I can do remotely. Or like I said here, I try to take a lot of Fridays off so I don't feel like I'm working myself to death, taking some time off when I don't have to. And another important piece that I want to say is you may have to take a pay cut to be happy. So because I own my practice and I eat what I kill, meaning if I see these numbers of patients, then I will make this much money. If I don't see them, then I will make this much money. It may take a pay cut. You may have to do that to say, you know what, but I'm happier when I don't work on Fridays. I'm happier when I can get off at 3:00 instead of 6:00 to go home and be with my family and have dinner together and have time to sit and talk. Yes, that may mean I make, much less money, but money isn't everything. And one thing I had to realize that, we may be living outside of our means anyway. We may be spending too much money. So that then forces you to look at your budget and look at your household and say, okay, well, where could we trim some unnecessary things and costs so that we don't have to work ourselves to death just to make a certain amount of money. So you may be able to kind of cut corners both in where you are at your job and in your budget to make it make sense for you. Okay. Take your sick days, take your vacation days. We work and earn all these, Janie doesn't know too much yet about that. She's still in the school world, but take some days off. You worked for those sick days and vacation days, take them off. I have to encourage it. And I find it surprising how much I kind of have to force some of my patients. Like, you have the flu, stay home. Like, what are you doing? And they're like, no, but I got this project and I got this meeting. I'm like, are you crazy? Like, you earn that time, like take it off, or you may end up sicker. You can end up in the hospital if you don't take some time off and relax. I mean, you're sick. So you earned it.
Can I say something?
Yes,
say something
please.
to that? I had a former colleague who almost prided herself. Like, she had all these sick days. We had something at my former job where you can donate sick time and vacation, for people who needed it. And I'm thinking, like, we work ourselves to the bone. And I will always say to myself, like, I'm going to work hard, but if I'm 6 feet under that institute, that system in which I work in, they'll grieve, they'll mourn, but they're also going to be an ad for my job.
That's
and
right.
So
right on.
Yeah, I don't understand why we don't take the time that we've actually earned. And it's like, we want to, I want to work. I don't want my employer or the system to think that. And it's just like, but that's time you earn. There's no reason why people should have extra vacation or sick time at all.
Correct.
At all.
Hero, you taking your time off? Oh, you unmute yourself.
Here's Elliot just pointing at me for everything you're saying.
Take that time off, girl. Or
I'm gonna have to work on it. It's just hard. It's just hard for me. I'm not used to taking time off, but he's always pushing. So believe me, I got my own person here pushing.
Good. Yeah, and we all need that cheerleader to tell us when to sit down too. That my husband does that for me too. He's like, "What are you doing? Why are you moving? Sit down. Stop. With all the things. Sit down." And I'm, okay. Let me take my phone off. Okay. All right, ladies. That's the end of an hour. That went by fast, didn't it? I'm excited. Did you have a good time?
Awesome time.
What'd you say, Angela?
I said I had an awesome time.
Good. All right. I have decided that we're going to end each meeting with a little homework. Not something hard, not hard, but something good that I think will help to make you sit down somewhere and do something for yourself. So, from my first book, I shared this stress flower. Can everybody see it? Angela, you'll watch it later. So stress flower. I got this from cortisol.com, this website about, cortisol, which is like the major stress hormone. And it had this little stress flower in it. And I think it only had maybe 4 or 5 petals that kind of gave you choices about things that you can do personally to decrease your stress. Then we took it and we added more petals because I need more stuff to help me de-stress. And Joy actually did this with me recently at a recent workshop I did with some teachers, some daycare teachers who really need stress relief. So you can always, share yours next time with Joy when we meet again. But I encourage you all to kind of look at this. I can send this to you in an email. I'll try to make it blank, or Miss Joy. Miss Joy will send it to you in an email, and we'll try to make it blank, or you can white things out. But force yourself to think of at least half of the petals, that you could write in your own techniques. So for me, I love massage. Massage is one of my medications. So I always try to make time for spa and massage time at least once or twice a month. Okay. If you follow me on social media, sometimes you'll see when I'll sneak off for lunch to try to go to Massage Envy. We have a Massage Envy down the street on 9th Street where we're near where we work. And as a member, they kind of keep open a cute slot. So if you become a member for like $30 a month, you get a free massage every month and other coupons and things. If you call as a member, they usually have an open slot when you call. And I sneak in sometime for lunchtime and get my massage in. And that makes me feel so much better. I'm a much happier person, and my patients appreciate me a little bit more because I'm in a good mood. But you can pick whatever you want. Music is part of my therapy. I play music. I try to in the office all day long. That keeps me up. Meditation, yoga, etc. So we're going to email these to you. Color them. So it's we'll try to get some blank ones too, so you can color them, because adult coloring books are a big thing for mental health nowadays too. So that helps you to focus every day, looking at your flower, put it somewhere where you can see it. So you can say, you know what? I haven't gone for a run in a while. Let me go do that. Or I'm going to focus this week on getting more sleep. So let me do that. So I'm going to share that with you guys. Okay. Yes. Good. All right. Well, I'm going to let you go enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll meet you back here again at noon. And for the first half hour, I'll talk about some things and review some things. And then for the second half, we'll talk to Kalila Wright and get her tips on her work-life balance. Okay.
Doc,
all right.
Before you go,
yes.
What music festival are you attending in Charlotte?
The Art of Cool. Oh yeah, you're here, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I heard about that on Facebook. Yep, I heard about it. Yep.
Yes. So the Art of Cool, which was born in Durham, this is their 5th year in Durham, coming up this next year, owned by Cicely Mitchell, who's a beast of a sister doing things. So Cicely Mitchell and Al Strong started Art of Cool in Durham. They are launching their Charlotte portion this weekend. So last night was the first night. We had Queen's Guard performed. Angela, I don't know if you're familiar with them.
No, but I did see something about that on Facebook, the article.
Yes. And Big Pooh was the opening act. But today and tonight, even more phenomenal. So Robert Glasper is here. Kenneth Whalen is here. Zoo Crew and Al Strong from Durham are here. A young lady by the last name of Can. I forget her name, but she's a really good singer. So we're headed out to some day parties. We're going to hear some music tonight. So Angela, if you're in the area, come hang out.
Cool. Have fun, Charlotte.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week, okay?
Bye.
Bye-bye.